Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. Yes, we're back. And I know we've said we're back before, but we are back hopefully for good. This is our preview of the game week 27 coming up, and it is worrying, really. I am here with Mike, but more importantly, I'm here with Ant, who has just gone top of our mini league. Suddenly, we're back. How coincidental that it's because Ant is flying. Anthony, how are you?
Well, I'm well. I mean, I would just like to say that you did initiate today's podcast, but I mean, more than happy to be back when some weird things are happening, and those weird things are that I'm doing quite well.
Yeah, I mean, just to put the last couple of game weeks into some sort of perspective. I don't. Well, okay. Let's put February in perspective. In February, and in our friends and family mini league, well, he has got 324 points in February. Let's counter that with the fact that I have got 216 in February. Oh,
Yeah.
bit too much after. I mean, that's 50 less than Mike.
Wow. I mean, how the mighty have fallen, eh?
Hello, Mike. How are you?
Well, yeah, we heard the listeners say whatever I said, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good, and here we are.
Wow,
yeah, I'm all right, thank you. I'll be honest. I thought we'd given up on fantasy football and indeed this podcast, but great to have it revived. Yeah, great to have it revived.
Just giving up, full stop.
Yeah. I felt like giving up because I sort of planned. It's rare that I planned, but I planned for that double game week a couple of game weeks ago, and I was making transfers with that in mind. I went Saka out, De Bruyne in, clever. So Saka, I haven't had.
That's gone well.
Watkins out. I bought in clever. This transfer. If you think that went well, try Watkins out for Adebayo, who on the bio, Adebayo, who. So in the double game week, I had effectively 18 games because I had 7 players doubling.
He's known as Tapestry in the changing room, by the way.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. So I had 7 players doubling. Adebayo pulls up with an injury in the warm-up, hamstring gone, both his games injured. Darwin Núñez off at half-time. Jota, someone landed on him, so he's clinically dead. I mean, it couldn't have gone much worse. De Bruyne, let's rest him. I mean,
seems
absolutely shambolic. It is an awful double game week, but the problems I've got coming out the other end of there are huge because I've now got a load of spare parts that I don't really want, and we're staring down the barrel of game week 29, which is probably what we'll talk about a lot this pod. But catastrophe!
It's not gone well for you, mate, has it? I mean, normally you have the shocker of a double game weeks much earlier on in the season. For you to have a shock of a double game week so far into the season was a big surprise, but part of me did enjoy it a little bit. But I did get a bit of FOMO on that week, and you boys did both triple captain Haaland, and I wasn't going to. The fear of seeing both of your teams with him triple captain, I had to do it. But yeah, I mean, it's mental, the turnaround, because I've gone from being absolutely nowhere, marooned between you boys, being the meet between the Botto Baps, and all of a sudden,
wow, what a lovely place to be.
That is a mental image you didn't need. All of a sudden, I'm top, and I've gone up 900,000 places in 3 game weeks, which is pretty insane. So
yeah,
I'm enjoying it while it lasts.
Last 3 game weeks, your game week ranks have been 262k, 155k, and 176k, which is pretty good.
Very good, Anthony.
When you talk about planning, right, and this is luck, I have to say this is how much I thought about it and how well it can come off sometimes. So I had Pedro Porro and Jota both injured for this game week, so I knew I was going to take a -4. But I looked at the fixtures, picked out Brighton because they had Everton at home. Everton are hopeless at the moment, and looked at their 2 most informed players, Dunk and Pascal Gross. I thought, okay, let's hit that up. Checked the 95th minute. Pascal Gross crosses for Lewis Dunk. 17 points. Thank you very much.
He's followed the data and it's paid off.
It's as easy as that sometimes. I spent about 30 seconds on it and it got me 17 points. So I've always said it, don't overthink it.
You're doing very well, mate. You're doing very well.
It's a little purple patch, and I'll enjoy it.
Just to really put some meat on the, what's the saying? Put some meat on the
Bones.
Bones,
Let's
yeah.
put some meat on the bones. Just to let you know how bad my recent run of form is, I am now closer to Mike than I am to you.
Okay,
I mean,
easy.
that is incredible. That is, in fact, Mike is very, very close to you now, I do believe.
My last 5 game week ranks, we've just been talking about you, sort of 200,000, 150,000. These are 4 of my last 5 game weeks. 7.1 million, 6.9 million, 4 million, and wait for it, 8.5 million.
Wowee.
Ooh.
And that was on the double game week.
What's happened?
Triple captain. I played my triple captain and I had 7 doublers and I got a game week rank of 8.5 million.
Wow.
I mean, the wheels are falling off, the doors are falling off, the engines come out. What's going on?
Honestly, I wish I knew what was going on, but I look at my team now and think, oh gosh, I've got a wild card, I've got a free hit, I've got a bench
Of course
boost.
you have. You love to stack those chips up right to the end of the season, don't you? And then smash your way through them and get all the points. So this isn't over by any stretch.
People don't want to hear me being miserable. That's the last thing. They like it when I'm smug. So let's move on from how we're doing at the moment and look to potentially the future. Because 8.5 million in a game week where I had 7 players doubling and I played my triple captain. 8.5 million.
That's mind-boggling.
I mean, just insane.
Anyway, like you say, nobody really wants to hear this. So,
Mike,
any players that have stood out for you since we last podded as a threesome?
Well, I've had the only bit of joy is that I've had Sarabia of Wolves.
Yeah, that's a nice pick. That.
Yeah, and he scored yesterday, which was nice. But apart from that, no. My captain plays tonight. I haven't had my captain play yet. I've got Ivan Toney as captain. So hopefully, when you're listening to this on Tuesday morning, then you'll be thinking, "Oh, see, it's not all that bad for Phil because Toney got a hat trick against West Ham."
You never know.
Well, yeah, I've got Bowen tonight as well.
Oh, have you? Yeah, very nice.
That's quite an interesting game, isn't it? Because West Ham have been absolutely hopeless recently, haven't they? So shipping goals, David Moyes under a bit of pressure there. So that's quite an interesting game, actually.
It is. So game week 27 coming up.
Yes.
You've got everyone's playing, which is fine. Then you've got game week 28. Everyone's playing, which is fine. Then game week 29. This is the one which is up in the air. At the moment, if you look on the Fantasy Football website, Fantasy Premier League website, it will tell you that everyone's playing. But the reality of it is only, I think, 6 teams are guaranteed to be playing that week. And then it all depends on FA Cup this week.
Yeah.
So the only teams guaranteed to be playing game week 29 are Villa and West Ham, Burnley and Brentford, and Fulham and Spurs.
And that is tricky because Bournemouth obviously playing Leicester in the FA Cup, so they may not be playing, and they have a double along with Luton, of course, in game week 28, which we've just skipped past because, of course, the original fixture with Luton, unfortunately, we know what happened with Tom Lockyer, so that's been rearranged. And in terms of a double, in terms of Bournemouth, I know we're not getting the wins at the moment, but we're certainly playing the football, and it's got to turn at some time. And that double game week in 28, I think everyone will be jumping on Mr. Solanke if they haven't already, because we've got Sheffield United and Luton back to back. But
the run that Bournemouth have at present looks like Burnley, then a double game week of Sheffield United and Luton, then Wolves, then Everton, then Crystal Palace, then Luton. It is a phenomenal run.
It is, but we need to start taking our chances. Really, we're playing some lovely football and not getting the points we deserve because we can't stick the ball in the back of the net. But surely now this is a little run that we need to consolidate our position in the league.
With not being able to put the ball in the back of the net as a sentence, I assume everyone's going to be trying to get Solanke.
I've bought him in for the first time this season. I've bought him in just today.
And are you
at the expense of Alvarez? I finally said goodbye to Alvarez.
Oh,
about time.
Yeah. So he's finally gone. And
what about Senesi? Because you love him.
I do love him. He's gone. He unfortunately long went. He went when he had his little injury. He has a little break. Yeah, Bournemouth are still shipping goals, so I don't really need any defensive assets at the moment. So, but yeah, Dom's.
I've got enough defensive assets. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't need any. But yeah, part of the reason I've been doing it right is that Solanke has been in the points this season. I've had him for a long time. I can't remember when, but I definitely had him when he scored that hat trick away at Nottingham Forest. You boys haven't jumped on him. I'm not too sure why, and that's part of the reason probably that I'm ahead at the moment.
Well, I can't. I don't really want to get Bournemouth players. I don't want to curse them, but it feels like. I mean, the reason you've shot ahead of me so much is that I haven't had Watkins and I haven't had Saka, and they've both hit a purple patch since I sold them. But I feel like if I don't have Solanke, that is going to be a huge problem for me.
I think it could be because I think a lot of people jump on him, and I think that he could and should be in the points.
Look, I think people listening might be looking for other Bournemouth assets with that run. It's quite difficult because the three behind Solanke are rotated week in, week out. So there's no real consistency. If you're looking for a bit of value, then Semenyo offers you that, freeing you up some more money maybe for your midfield, but because he's listed as a striker. But yeah, those three are rotated on a regular basis. So I'm not sure I'd be confident in backing any of them. And then, like you say, whilst we our attitude seems to be that we'll outscore the opposition. We don't pick up many clean sheets, and so defensive assets, you're probably only looking for the sort of players that are going to bomb on. And Kirkes looks like he's secured that left back spot again. He's one. If you're looking for a bit of a differential, maybe be looking at him at 4.5 as an option. But beyond that, really, Solanke's by far and away he's the standout. And yeah, I can't understand why anybody wouldn't have him in their team now. Moving with this run coming our way.
23.6% ownership for Solanke at the moment, so probably expect that to jump massively. So with this game week coming up,
if you so Bournemouth got a double game week this week coming.
No,
I don't think
28.
so. Yeah,
28.
Yeah. Okay, so what about? Oh, sorry, I've got a terrible weird throat. Okay. What about Ryan Christie? He's so far this season. He has got 2 assists and no goals.
Yeah,
well, thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah.
If Fantasy Premier League awarded points for hard work, and first touch, he'd be a real asset. But you've got to look at in and around that price point. You've got other options, Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto. To name but 2 that are a similar price point to him. So no, I don't think I'd be bringing him in.
So are you going to get a defensive asset for that double?
No. Actually, do you know what? The one player I might look at from a defensive asset is actually Luton in that double game week, because I really like Alfie Doherty as a player. He's on their corners. So yeah, he's one. If I was going to bring somebody in, for that double game week, and then they're at home to Forest the week after.
Okay.
He might be again somebody a little bit different, but yeah, he's on all their set plays.
Okay. So let's look at the week immediately ahead, because I feel like I've completely sent the podcast in the wrong direction. So my apologies. Game week 27 coming up.
Yes.
Ivan Toney starts the week. So let's run through the fixtures. So you got Brentford on the back of their West Ham hammering and Ivan Toney's hat trick at home to Chelsea, who somehow lost against Liverpool's kids yesterday. You've got Everton at home to West Ham. Everton haven't won a game since December, I think I read.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, similar to Bournemouth. Yeah.
Fulham are at home to Brighton. 2 teams who are hugely erratic. Then you've got Newcastle at home to Wolves, Forest at home to Liverpool. Forest look toilet again, don't they?
Yeah, leaky, aren't they, at the back? Yeah, they gave it a go against Villa, but Villa looked like scoring every time they went forward.
Then you got Spurs again erratic against Palace, and Luton at home to Villa, which is the Saturday evening game. Then Sunday, Super Sunday, there's a small matter of Man City at home to Man United. But the reason it's a Super Sunday, of course, for the neutrals is Burnley at home to Bournemouth.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So you got Burnley
Yeah.
over Bournemouth. And then the
Oh,
game
we
week
should get
finishes.
together and watch that. That would be lovely.
What, Sunday lunchtime?
Yeah.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I'll cook a
Unfortunately,
roast.
I'll be stood in
Okay.
the rain somewhere, probably around Branscore, watching my son's team. So, yeah, unfortunately, you're going to have to count me out of that one.
Oh, I did say I might go and watch that as well. But let's see
Yeah,
what the
that
weather's
could be
doing.
awesome. Rain.
And then Monday, you got Sheffield United at home to Arsenal, who, as much as I don't like Arteta because of what he's doing to Ramsdale, Arsenal are playing quite well.
Yeah.
They are tearing teams apart. They 25 goals, I think, in their last 6 games. And again, one of the reasons I'm at you two is because I kept faith with Saka this whole time, and he cannot stop getting in the points at the moment. Sheffield United, I think, have conceded 10, 11 goals in their last 2 games, home games. So surely a case of how many in that one. But yeah, there is some decent fixtures there, and there is some points to be had.
I think if you just, you mentioned obviously Saka is the standout, but Rice has come into some real form over the last few weeks. 17 points in game week 24, then a 3 against Burnley, and then a 6 against Newcastle. So yeah, he seems to be getting forward a bit more. Equally, Odegaard had a couple of great game weeks, 24 and 25, 10 points and 14 respectively. Bit pricier than Rice, of course. So yeah, Rice seems to represent a bit of value there at 5.4 million. You were talking about, would you bring Ryan Christie in? Well, for a similar price point, no, I probably wouldn't.
Okay, fine. We probably don't have time for a quiz.
No, good.
But do you want to do a quick quiz just to look at who's actually in form? Because it's felt like the last few game weeks have been quite disjointed. So
okay,
maybe you guys could guess some of the top 20 form players that I've got in front of me.
Let's do it. Play the tune.
Oh, we're going with the tune as well.
Well, if we're going to do a quiz, we're going to do a quiz.
We've got to do it.
Yeah, okay. Do you want the full length? Yeah, let's go full length. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz. The loser gets their captain picked by a listener with great instinct. Sometimes cruel and sometimes kind. The listener is always right. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz.
Wow, not missed that.
No. Can I just, sorry for this won't work. I mean, this is going on the YouTube. If you've missed our faces, this is live streaming to the YouTube.
Or my roof tiles.
Your roof tiles. But Anthony looks like a news presenter with a background that's been put in and faded. Like he looks like Ben Shepherd. You can just make out some buildings behind him. It's very odd. Right, so you won't be out if you get one wrong, but we'll take it in turns to see how many you get right.
Okay.
Of the top 20 informed players.
Oh, okay.
Anthony, seeing as you're flying high, why don't you win at something else?
Oh wow! Look at this.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bit jealousy there. Let's go.
I am so happy for you because I've been desperate for you to actually win, which is why, in a way, why I've took my foot off the pedal. But
of course,
we also play football on a Monday night, and Anthony has lost the last 12 times now? 12 weeks in a row?
I can't remember the last time I won a game of football on a Monday night. It's been a while.
To the point where I'd just like to know what colour you're wearing tonight.
Whichever one it is, make sure that you wear the opposite, my friend.
Well, this is why I'm asking.
No idea yet, but my first guess is going to be Saka.
Saka, top of the form charts. Wonderful. Yeah, I can confirm that Saka, since I sold him, has got 15, 15 and 10 points.
Oh, lovely.
I'll go Watkins, please.
Second in the form charts, yeah.
Højlund. Injured now, but has been flying.
Yeah, he is sixth in the form charts. He was someone I was thinking, I might be able to, that'd be a bit cheeky. He's doing well, but no, he's now injured.
Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney, no, he's not. He's not like he's only played about 2 games. I mean,
what are 2 games?
And also, you're also thinking about the hat trick that he hasn't actually scored yet. but he may well
Yes,
score
I think
tonight
you.
against West
Yes,
Ham.
I thought you. I assumed you'd talk that into an existence.
Does
No.
this mean Mike's getting his captain picked, or is this purely
No.
for fun?
No.
That is a
We're just
shame.
doing fun.
That
Just
is a
doing
shame.
fun. Just doing fun.
Okay.
So you go again.
Okay. I know this player's got to be on this list because I saw it for myself. Pascal Gross.
Number 3.
Wow.
3 in the form list.
Mind blowing.
Last 4 results: 11, 10, 8, 7. It is going down. The numbers are going down, but it's still good returns.
A guy I quite like, Branthwaite.
Oh yeah, Branthwaite. He's not on the list. He's not in the
Doing
top
well.
20.
Doing well.
But my wife put him in this week and he scored. I mean,
Yes, she's good at that. Very, very good at that.
Just to be clear, your wife is very good at putting a man in and him scoring.
Brilliant. Hello, darling. I hope you're listening. I hope you enjoy the show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Phil
9 points. 9 points
Foden.
for him. Yeah.
Phil Foden, please.
Phil Foden, yeah, he's flying high, Anthony. He's number 5 on the list. It doesn't matter because everyone's got him.
I haven't got him.
Well, yeah,
Explains a lot.
What about Lewis Dunk?
Lewis Dunk,
Well, that's
finally,
a cheeky
Mike.
little one.
Yeah, you're back in the game here. Lewis Dunk with, in his last 4 games, he's had 9, 0, 12 and 10. Yeah, Brighton have hit form. They've got Fulham and Nottingham Forest before they go to Man City.
Which is very much like a cup draw. We're sort of saying the name, you're going, yes. And then
This is my, I'm having an absolute catastrophe of a few weeks voice.
Oh.
So I turn more into a presenter, less of a player.
I guarantee you'll still win. Right, you'll hit your little purple patch now. You've saved all your chips up.
You've got all the chips. You've got all these chips left.
Can you two stop bickering and just give an answer in the quiz?
Well, he's still
Dominic
got
Solanke.
Solanke is just in the list. Yes.
Oh, I'll get it. I mean,
Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, he is 8th on the list. 15 points against Forest. That'll help. Villa's fixtures are still good. They've got Luton, Spurs, West Ham, and Wolves before going to Manchester City.
Well, Mike picked out this man a minute ago. Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, he's in the list. Yeah, he's just in there as well.
What about Luis Diaz?
Yes, he's 4th on the list. So for those who went for Liverpool doublers like me and went Jota and Darwin, and I'll be clever. I'll go for Bradley. What's his chops at right back?
Connor Bradley. Bradley Connor.
Bradley Connor. Should have gone Diaz. 12 points, 5 points, 9 points, 5 points, 7 points. And he plays Nottingham Forest next.
Just for clarification, are we going until we've got all 20?
No, we're not. No.
Should we have one more each?
One
Thank
more
goodness.
each.
Okay. If Solanke's on the list, I've got a feeling that Haaland might just sneak in there. I'll go Haaland.
He's 1 place above Solanke.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not. I was talked out of captaining him this week by a dear friend of ours, Rich. But I had a feeling he wouldn't do great against Bournemouth. Just had an inkling.
I did go Watkins this week, and I was glad.
It's interesting you mentioned Rich, because I'm going to go Rich Arlison.
Good. Yeah, he's in there.
Sneaky.
He's in there. Hasn't been good the last couple of games, but the 4 games before that he was. So Son's come back, and Richarlison's not been as good.
Well, here ends the quiz.
You could have had Adebayo. Oh, Adebayo. Could have had Adebayo.
Tapestry.
He's got 0 and 0 in his last 2 game weeks. I know that because I signed him. But before that, he got 5, 6, and 17. So
makes sense.
You could have had Adebayo, Trossard, Bailey, Odegaard, Morris, Muniz of Fulham, 4.4 million.
Wow.
And he's had good returns, and he's playing most minutes in each game at the moment.
He's a bit of a unit as well, isn't he?
Yeah. And he's keeping out the lad from Chelsea who they got on loan, who's not very happy that he's
Brozier.
Yeah. So Fulham's fixtures are Brighton, Wolves, Spurs, Sheffield United, Forest, Newcastle.
got to be tempting.
Got to be. If you're wildcarding and need an enabler, he's there. Hudson-Odoi and Havertz were the only ones that you didn't get after
Right.
that.
Okay. Well, I think you take that, mate.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
Shame you're not getting your captain Mick, but small wins.
Yeah, Mike, you did go for Ivan Toney, who has
Feels like he's
Played
been back
about 3
forever,
games.
to be honest.
He has been back a while. To be fair,
Yeah.
it's not 2 games. He has been back a while, but I think you just built in his hat trick tonight before it's happened.
I think I did. Well, very good. Anything else we need to kind of sign off on before we get this, this revival pod done and dusted?
Well, I think it'd be interesting to know what your long-term plans are going forward with your chips and stuff like that. Because, like I said, Game Week 29 coming up. What chips do you have left, and when would you think would be a good time to play them? Because other people, will be in the same boat.
Well, I only have the free hit left, which I'm saving for a big double game week. Whether that's 29 or otherwise, we'll wait and see what the cup fixtures do this week, I guess. But I don't think at this moment in time I don't really want to build towards a double game week. I think I want to have a team that is going to be consistent for me, because I think the problem I've had in recent years is I've spent quite a bit in getting players in for a double game week and then even more getting them out again. So
Welcome.
yeah. So I think free hit for that really at this stage, and go from there.
What we do on Game Week 29 if you've not got many players? Because I'm with you. I think that a free hit is there to attack. You use it to maximize a game week, and when you're just doing it to bring in a load of players that you would never normally bring in, but there's only a few teams playing, it just feels like a waste.
Yeah, no, I think I just take the hit.
Just only have a few players.
I think so. Yeah. In terms of players on my watch list, I want to get Salah back in just as soon as he's proved fit.
I've heard of it. I've heard of Salah. Thanks for your
insight. I've got a bit of money in the bank in terms of Bowen. I'll make that switch as soon as Salah's good. But other than that, my team, just for your reference, is I've got Kelleher in goal with Dubravka on the bench. Defence, I've got Trippier, Gabriel, Moreno, Udogie and Branthwaite. Midfield, I've got Neto, Bowen, Saka, Maddison and Palmer. And up top, Haaland, Watkins and Solanke. So it's a nice broad squad, I think, that should last me. That shouldn't need a lot of jiggery pokery.
Shouldn't, but will.
It probably will. But yeah, Bowen to Salah is the one that I've got my eye on. But I might as well keep Bowen there at the moment. West Ham's fixtures are fairly decent coming up. The next 3 are Brentford, Everton, and Burnley. So, no mad rush to get him out, but West Ham have been toilet to watch and not creating a huge amount.
So Ben Crellin of Crellin Exports, Ben Crellin.
I've heard of him.
He does all the
fixtures.
fixtures. He tries to work out when teams are going to have double game weeks. So he seems to believe, according to his maths, at Game Week 29 there will be just over 10.65 teams will have a blank game week, according to Ben Crellin. So you're looking at about half the teams there. I've done the maths for you.
Cracking maths, yeah.
Won't be playing Game Week 29. But what he has also said is that he expects 4.48 teams to have a double game week in Game Week 34.
Okay.
And he's expecting a big game week in Game Week 37 of 8.5 teams having a double.
Ooh,
that's the one.
So the problem is, say you've got your wild card still, which I do. I normally save my wild card for the week before a big double game week, and then I can bench boost that double game week.
Oh, clever!
And have loads of players doubling. That's always my sort of go-to second half of the season plan. But to save my wild card to what would be game week 36 seems nothing short of insanity when my team is such a mess.
Yeah, that's.
Can you talk us through your team at the moment, Phil?
Oh, of course. It should be a comedy podcast, so let's have a look at my team.
Okay.
Okay. there's more dead wood in this team than in the Amazon. It's mental. Right. Areola or Dubravka. I mean, both of those. I mean, I've got Areola playing tonight against Tony, so he's going to concede another 3 tonight.
Shipping goals.
Dubravka may as well not have hands on the end of his arms. He's not been very useful. I've got Saliba. Thank goodness I've got Saliba at the back because, he was bench fodder for me earlier in the season when I was doing well. But Saliba at least he's my only Arsenal asset. Kieran Trippier, great fun. It's been really good fun owning Kieran Trippier recently. And anyway, Kieran Trippier. Connor Bradley, I've got, and I think he's a good player, but Trent will be back at some point soon, and then I'll be in trouble. Right. I've also got Estupinan. Do you remember Estupinan?
Who?
The guy who got loads of points last year, and so on that basis, I brought him in.
Yeah.
More Deadwood. His recent performances for me 0-1, 0-1-1. Thank you, Purvis.
Oh, he's like he's binary.
He is binary. Very good, Michael. And of course, Pedro Porro, who's injured. So great.
Wow.
So few problems at the back. Let me introduce you to some more problems. Kevin De Bruyne. So thanks, Kev. Thanks.
Wow.
It was well worth bringing in. Just to confirm, in the time that Saka has got nearly 40 points, Kevin De Bruyne has got me 6. So
is his hair mirroring his form? Is it that awkward in between stage?
Oh no, because you know what? I really like his hair.
Yeah, but what's he trying to do with it? Is he trying to grow it out?
Yeah, I don't
know. It's not quite hairband worthy, but it's not far off it.
No, but I think it is hairband. You can get a hairband in there. You can live the dream, Kevin, and it's fine. So De Bruyne, obviously a problem. Clearly injured, or Pep is worried about him being injured, and he's got Man United and Liverpool coming up as the next 2 fixtures. I've somehow ended up. I've still got Cole Palmer because I've got so much money invested in him, but everyone's got Cole Palmer. I've got double Wolves midfield. Not sure how that happened, but it sums up my team. I've got Hwang back in hope that he can produce some form like he did early season, and I've got Sarabia and I've got Foden. But again, who hasn't got Foden apart from you, Mike? And then up front, I had to bring in Ollie Watkins again for Adebayo, so that transfer was great. That worked out really well. So Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney, who's got a hat-trick tonight, and Haaland.
I like Toney as a differential, and
you will. But next week he will have to, as a defensive move, turn into Dominic Solanke.
Oh,
there's no, everyone is going to have Dominic Solanke. In game
everyone's
going
to have the same front three, aren't they? Haaland, Watkins, Solanke.
Yeah.
That's what I got right now.
Tony's going to be playing Chelsea and then Arsenal. So
okay.
Everyone's going to have Solanke. So I just don't know. Purvis is a pain. Purvis and Trippier are causing problems.
Newcastle shipping goals have actually lost as many games as Bournemouth now this season. So
I'm sticking with Trippier.
Controversial, I think.
Is it?
I think so. Newcastle.
He's still got 42% ownership, lads, and his
wow.
All of his next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fixtures are marked green on the fixture difficulty rating. So
they've got good fixtures coming up. In theory, but they have had quite good fixtures recently. In that they've had Luton, Forest, Bournemouth before Arsenal.
That's true.
Well, they shipped 4 to Luton, 2 to us, 4 to Newcastle. They are shipping goals.
Yeah. They shipped 4 to Newcastle. Blimey.
Or Arsenal even. Yeah.
Okay.
So you see the problems I've got here. I think I'm going to have to go bold and hold on to my wild card until game week 36.
Wow.
Which is wasteful. And what chips? Crucially, I mean, you're so far ahead of me. I'll never catch you now. But crucially, what chips do you have left?
I mean, you saying that just for reference. Pretty much the last time we recorded a pod with all 3 of us, you were about 70 or 80 points ahead of me. Just to say.
Yeah,
I'm 360. So
yeah,
don't be so defeatist, Phil. There's plenty of time yet for you to turn it around. And to answer your question, I have a free hit and bench boost still to play. So, like you say, you need to attack those and leave. Same for the double game week. So, I mean, if you're taking a bit of advice for someone who's done well, so you mentioned our good friend Rich, who's been top of the Friends and Family League until this week when I've just gone ahead of him. But he only had like 7 players playing this week, so he's taken the hit on this one. So
yeah,
maybe that's the path you need to follow. Like you say, game week 29, don't make big wholesale changes if there's only a few teams playing. Just take the hit on a poor score.
So you're not going to use your free hit up on that game week then, Ant?
Unless I've literally got a handful of players, I can't see me doing it now. With if Ben Quillen is to be correct, and he normally is when it comes to doubles, then I will hold on and do it right at the end of the season. Crucially, I need to try and tally them up when you do them, because I've had this previously in previous years where I thought I'm going to win, and then you've stacked all your chips up at the end and gone all in, and you've got a royal flush.
I went all in. Like I spent 3 or 4 weeks transferring with it in mind on the previous double game week, and I got a game week rank of 8.5 million.
If you could continue that to the end of the season, that would be much appreciated. So someone other than yourself could win out of the 3 of us. That would be very kind of you.
There must be 3 million dead teams at least.
So what you're saying is your own daughter must have been you that week.
Oh, honestly, triple captain, 7 doublers, game week rank of 8.5 million.
And why don't we finish by just quickly hearing about your team, because obviously you've had success with that over the last few weeks.
Sure. Yeah. As you say, I do have the very unoriginal front 3 of Haaland, Solanke, and Watkins. In front of them or just behind them, I've kept faith with Mr. Gordon, with old Claire Balding, and he's actually done all right for me recently. Again, he's been in the points. So Gordon, Saka, Foden, I mean, those 2 together, loads of points. And then I bought in Pascal Gross this week. Like you say, he's banging form, got 7 points against Everton. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with that midfield. Then a back 3. This was really, really annoying because I saw that it was 4-0 to Arsenal. I thought, oh, lovely, got Gabriel and Saliba. Lovely old stuff. And then, they conceded late on, didn't they? But, yeah, those 2 at the back who've done pretty well with Nathan Ake. Oh, good for Nathan Ake. And then I got Vicario in goal. I would argue my bench isn't too bad. I've got Areola, Cole Palmer, Lewis Duncan, Doherty on the bench.
Oh, you've got Alfie Doherty, okay.
Yeah, I have. I've had him for weeks, and he's quite often been on my bench. But actually, he has been getting some half decent scores. He got 6 against Brighton, 5 against Burnley, 9 against Chelsea. So he's definitely there as an option. Like I say, with that double on the horizon, he's definitely a good one to have. But I mean, going back again, one of the main reasons that I have done so well is these Arsenal assets are just flying. I mean, that week they played West Ham, 3 players, Saliba, Gabriel, and Saka, got me nearly 40 points.
So they've sparked into life, haven't they? Because up to
they certainly have.
It was fairly conservative stuff, but yeah, they've done well.
I would say we've actually got a title race. Unfortunately, I think City's going to pip it, but at least they might be being pushed.
Not based on what I saw on Saturday. But anyway, lads, that's been lovely. But I've got some chicken to go and heat up.
Oh, and I've got no lunch to go and have.
Oh, no.
So,
okay.
I just ask you a question?
Someone to the shop. Yes, Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
Who's your punt going to be this week, boys? Let's do it. Let's get back on the punt.
Ah, yes. Finally. I mean, last time we did a punt, you did Adebayo and he got a hat-trick. Everything you touch turns to goals, Ant.
Oh, such a rare treat. Me being happy. Oh,
I know. I can't wait to see you play 5-a-side tonight and just wipe the smile off your face.
Be utterly miserable, kick the ball away in pure anger, and probably swear at somebody. Anyway, I'm going to go first because I've suggested I'm going to go Anton Semenyo, 1.9% ownership.
I'm going to go Kai Havertz.
Burnley. Oh, wow, straight in there.
I'm going to go Trossard.
Oh, I see.
What, the Trossard who got dropped to the bench at the weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. You watch Kai Havertz break an ankle now.
Boys, it's been good to be back, hasn't it?
It's lovely. That's our opinion, not the listeners. We must always caveat that. And if you do enjoy random chatter, please do try out our Chip Advisor podcast. This week we've done a podcast all about afternoon teas, which is delightful. Delightful. It's good fun. Right, okay. Have a good one, gents. It's been lovely. Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Pleasure. Bye-bye now.
Bye.